All right, before I start this video, I would like to give a special rest in peace to Annie Wishering, I hope I'm saying that right, who just passed away from cancer at the age of 46. She played the original Tess in the Last of Us game, and she had a battle with cancer and unfortunately passed away. Cancer sucks, and I just want to say that. Yo, what up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of Q Reviews. In this Q Review, we'll be going over Last of Us Episode 3, long time. I'm in the apocalypse right now in 2023. No, it's just January in Michigan. I thought I'd change up the scenery a little bit, you know what I'm saying, give you something different. So in this episode, Last of Us, long time, just when I thought the episodes couldn't get any better than that last episode, in my last review said I was going to be upset. They somehow topped this episode with so much emotion and heart, and one of the best love stories I ever seen in about like an hour, 15 minutes. Long time takes us in the perspective of Bill. There's going to be spoilers here, by the way. If you know, I just want to let you know that we're spoiling the episode. So if you haven't seen the episode, and if you haven't played the game, I suggest you go, play the game or watch the episode and then come back. So The Last of Us Episode 3 starts off with Joel and Ellie, and Joel's by the river. He's stacking rocks. This is to represent that he misses Tess. This is his grieving process from his partner that he once had. I'm sad to say I wish we had a little bit more character development with Joel and Ellie. It's kind of in that gray area, but in this episode we go deep into a relationship between Bill and his partner Frank. And after we grieve a little bit, he now has to talk to Ellie because Tess is in there. She's the only person there. And the relationship starts to open up a little bit, like more like Joe and Ellie from the game, I think. And their conversation is good. Joe tells her about, like, she asks, how did this infection start? And then they get into, like, again, to the sugar, the flour. And then by Monday, everybody was fucked. Everybody was zombies. You know what I'm saying? It turned that quickly. The world just went to shit that quickly. And I thought that was really interesting. And then they show a pile of dead bodies, in this ravine, and they weren't infected. They were supposed to go to safety, and they trusted the government. They said, yeah, you can come in here if there's room. Of course, it probably wasn't no room, and they probably got, gunned down by the government. Shit is fucked up in The Last of Us. This is a very sad, depressing show. And then we go to a flashback, which I was expecting to see a flashback, at the beginning of the episode, but they go back to the year 2003. And we see Bill, like pretty much a post-apocalyptic guy, we always kind of make fun of these guys until this shit really go down and you really have to, survive. So, the whole world turns to shit, of course. Bill decides to stay in this small little town. Yo, I love seeing post-apocalyptic zombie movies when they go raise stuff like that, like Dawn of the Dead when they're in the mall. They just getting anything they want, jury. But like Bill took it to the next level, son. Bill had he had a whole generator, probably the size of my apartment. Yo, he had he filled up canisters of gasoline. He had the whole thing running on a generator. So he had power, electricity, and he had like meat. So he had I think he had like goats and chickens and eggs. So it's just, pleasant to see when he was made his meal, his delicious, medium rare steak or whatever that was, rabbit or whatever that was, and he's sipping his wine because he had all the finest wines in town. And just watching people watching infected run over his tripwires and exploding, and guns shoot him in the head. He totally loves this. He's by himself. I think he prefers being by himself until someone falls in the hole, and then we find out that it's a person who is not infected called Frank. And then Frank gets him out of the hole, and then he finds out he's not infected, he's fine. So what I like about this scene too, Bill is not trusting anybody. He's he has a shotty like this, son, and then he's looking everywhere, see him just if it's a setup or not. Turns out it's not a setup at all. And then, I think Frank sees something in Bill that, he might be like him, which is they're in a gay relationship. So if you're not, into, homosexual relationships, some people might be turned off by that, but I didn't even see it as a homosexual relationship when I was watching it. I just seen a beautiful love story unfold between Frank and Bill. It was one of the best paced episodes I have ever seen in television. If they could give Oscars away to the actor, I'm forgetting his name, who played Bill and Frank. I think they both deserve Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor. Their chemistry was so good. It was so realistic. I truly believe their love story. And this doesn't happen in the game. They can't do that in the game. You can't just like focus, 30 minutes inside of a video game on a relationship. It has to be some type of cut time event where some action happens. But they take their time and they develop this relationship. It was one of the most beautiful episodes I've seen on television. It wasn't a lot of clickers and affected. Actually, it's only one scene with the affected with Ellie, but other than that, Frank and Bill fall in love, and then we even go into the future when they're a little bit older. I think I want to say the year is like 2007, and they're running, and he's a little bit in better shape than Bill. Bill's kind of out of shape, and Bill feels bad because he's like, you're going to grow old. I'm going to grow older quicker than you are. You know what I'm saying? Thus meaning he's going to leave Frank by himself. And all Bill cared about at first was himself. But now he says, even like, I'm afraid for myself because, I care about you so much. I'm saying? I'll do anything to protect you. And that's a great duality between Joel and Ellie too. These correlations. We even get a flashback from Tess, and Joel's talking about, like that fence is not going to last. I can hook you up, with more supplies to build you a better fence so you can protect yourself or both of you guys. So this episode here is, like I said, it's completely different from the game. In the game, we don't see Frank at all. There is just a note in a corpse that they had a bickering, and I think he ran away and got killed, if I remember it right. So you don't see any of that. It's just implied. In this episode, they decided to do a deep dive, and I think it really helps the narrative. Like that's narrative. I forgot it was even a game of Last of Us at a point. I was just looking at this beautiful love story, this beautiful narrative, and this dark, depressing world, but they had each other. And that was the most important thing. What's great about this episode too, they even found a way to throw a little action in here. They're like, it's this one scene where the looters are coming, and they're coming to the fence, and then they get up to the fence, and then of course Bill's fucking traps go off, and then like they start setting all the people on fire, like Yoda flame, Yoda fire. It was like probably the best DLC you can have without having DLC. Like, yo, I wish I could have played that part of the game. That part would have been awesome, and it was so Last of Us. During this battle, Bill ends up getting shot by one of the raiders, and I was like, oh shit, are they going to kill Bill right here? I mean, this is how this going to go down, and Frank's going to be the one. But then they cut into the year 2023. Bill's still alive. He's caring for Frank, and Frank has a terminal illness, which like no one can do anything about. They don't exactly say the illness. It could be cancer, multiple sclerosis, because he was in a wheelchair like that. And one day he just wakes up like, this is going to be my last day on earth, and I just want to go out having the most beautiful day of my life with you, my partner. I love you. I want to get married to you. And I want you to cook that dinner that you cooked when we first met. And I want you to take these pills, crush them up, put them in my wine, and I want you to take me upstairs, and I want to die in your arms. He ends up giving him the pills, the most beautiful dinner. He puts the it looked like a kilo of cocaine he put in his wine, you know what I'm saying? And he put it in there, he drinks it, and he noticed that the other pills were still more pills, so Bill ended up taking the pills as well, and they both drink it, you know what I'm saying? And then they cut back to Joe and Ellie, and that's where they were headed anyway. They were headed to, Joe and Ellie were headed to Bill and Frank's place, you know what I'm saying, to get supplies, But like when they get there, Ellie reads the letter, saying that he's passed away. Him and his partner upstairs. Don't open the door, and you don't want to see, us. It's probably going to stink in there like that. And I think something in the letter said something about Tess, and Ellie doesn't read it. She pauses and gives it to Joe. And Joe knew at that point he had to protect Ellie because he was protecting Tess in a way. Now it's flipped. Now he is protecting Ellie. I think it comes a point in people's lives, whether you have children or elderly, you have to take care of, when your life becomes less important than your children's lives, you know what I'm saying? And you have to protect them at any means necessary. And I want to say this about this show. They executed that flawlessly. I have not seen the narratives told on television, I can't believe it, in years like that. Of course, this episode is a 5 out of 5. Just from the emotional beats, you will cry. I seen a video where Chris Stuckman said, like, you know, video game, we had other good video game adaptations. Some were animated. I mean, I don't think anime counts because this is live action, you know what I'm saying? But besides the video game adaptation or whatever it is, this is definitely adaptation. That's what it is. They took some material and made it even better. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game is the game. This is a show. I forgot it was a show. This episode may be the best of the series, but every time I see another episode, it ups the other episode. So yeah, in my opinion, this is some of the best television I have ever seen. I'm sorry I don't have both the actors' names. I know one is from Parks and Rec. I never seen Parks and Rec. I know the other guy is from White Lotus. Flawless acting, flawless pacing, great direction, beautiful music. It's some of the best stuff I ever seen on television. I only rate through 5. Of course, like I said, it's a 5 out of 5. If you guys are not watching The Last of Us, you don't even have to play the game to know great storytelling, telling narrative. Hey guys, thanks so much again for watching my Last of Us 3 long time episode 3 review. What did y'all think of this episode? I would love to know your thoughts on this episode, because it was so deep, and I just want to hear what the community thinks of this episode. I thought it was fucking flawless. Like what if I had any gripes about it? I don't know. I don't think I have any gripes. It could have been more infected, I guess, but like, I didn't care at the end of the day. You know, I know I'm giving this show high praise, but I'm really am digging it. You know what I'm saying? Once again, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, of course, go ahead, hit me that like button. And if you really like this content, come on, consider subscribing to the Q Review family. I'm in Michigan, and it's cold as shit. I'm going in the house, and don't just stare at it, eat it. Peace.
I'm out cold, you hoes been exposed. Walk up on you slow with the foe and unload. You got more left for dead on the road. I strode when your car got towed.